Inauguration, 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 Thank you. Well, Assembly, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Assembly, thank you very much.
I call upon Ms. Vaishnavi Karbuki to introduce the chief guest of today's function,
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Mr. Justice
Thank you.
S. Sunil Dutt Yadav. I call upon Ms. Vaishnavi Karbuki to introduce the chief guest of today's function,
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Mr. Justice
Thank you.
S. Sunil Dutt Yadav. I call upon Ms. Vaishnavi Karbuki to introduce the chief guest of today's function,
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Mr. Justice
Thank you.
S. Sunil
Good
Dutt
evening.
Yadav. I call upon Ms. Vaishnavi Karbuki
And
to
of the day.
introduce the chief guest of
Ladies
today's
and
function,
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Mr.
I,
Justice
Vaishnavi
S.
Karbuki,
Sunil
good
Dutt
evening.
Yadav. I call
Take
upon
the
Ms.
dignitaries
Vaishnavi
on
Karbuki
and of
to
the day.
introduce the chief guest of
Ladies
today's
and
function,
Thank you, sir.
Honorable
Mr.
Jai,
Justice
Vaishnavi
S.
Karbuki,
Sunil
good
Dutt
evening.
Yadav. I call
Take
upon
the
Ms. Vaishnavi
dignitaries
Karbuki
and
to
of the
introduce the
audience
chief
of
guest of
today's
today's
function.
function,
Thank you, sir.
Honorable
Mr.
Jai,
Justice
Vaishnavi
S.
Karbuki,
Sunil
good
Dutt
evening.
Yadav. I call
And
upon
take the
Ms. Vaishnavi Karbuki
dignitaries
to
and of the
introduce the
audience
chief
of
guest of
today's
today's
function.
function,
Thank you, sir.
Honorable
Mr.
Jai,
Justice
Vaishnavi
S.
Karbuki,
Sunil
good
Dutt
evening.
Yadav. I call
And take
upon
the
Ms. Vaishnavi
dignitaries
Karbuki to
and of the
introduce the
audience
chief
of
guest of
today's
today's
function.
function,
Thank you, sir.
Honorable
Mr.
Jai,
Justice
Vaishnavi
S.
Karbuki,
Sunil
good
Dutt
evening.
Yadav. I call
And take
upon
the
Ms. Vaishnavi
dignitaries
Karbuki to
and of the
introduce the chief
audience
guest of today's
and
function,
Thank you, sir.
Honorable
Mr.
Jai,
Justice
Vaishnavi
S.
Karbuki,
Sunil Dutt
good
Yadav. I
evening.
call
And take
upon
the
Ms. Vaishnavi Karbuki to
and of the
introduce the chief
audience
guest of today's function,
Thank you, sir.
and
Mr.
Jai,
Justice S.
Vaishnavi
Sunil
Karbuki,
Dutt
good
Yadav. I
evening.
call
And take
upon
the
Ms. Vaishnavi Karbuki to
and of the
introduce the chief
audience
guest of today's function,
and
Mr.
Jai,
Justice
Vaishnavi
S.
Karbuki,
Sunil
good
Dutt Yadav. I
evening.
call
And take
upon
the
Ms. Vaishnavi Karbuki to
and of the
introduce the chief
audience
guest of today's function,
Thank you, sir.
Mr.
Jai,
Justice S.
Vaishnavi
Sunil
Karbuki,
Dutt
good
Yadav. I
evening.
call
And take
upon
the
Ms.
and of the audience
Karbuki to introduce the chief
Jai,
guest of today's function,
Vaishnavi Karbuki, good evening. And take the and of the audience Jai, Vaishnavi Karbuki, good evening. And take the and of the audience Jai, Vaishnavi Karbuki, good evening. And take the and of the audience Jai, Vaishnavi Karbuki, good evening. And take the and of the audience Jai, Vaishnavi Karbuki, good evening. At the age of 45, he was elevated to the bench and was later confirmed as a permanent judge at the High Court of Karnataka on 7th January 2020. Indeed, it is a privilege to have you, sir, amongst us as a chief guest of today's function. I now request Sri Anand N. Manki, sir, President of today's function, to honor and present a token of remembrance to our chief guest. President of today's function, to honor and present a token of remembrance to our chief guest. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. I would like to call upon Ms. Malvika Kulkarni to introduce the president of today's function, Sri Anand N. Mandgi, Senior Advocate and President, Karnataka Law Society. To introduce the president of today's function, Sri Anand N. Mandgi, Senior Advocate and President, Karnataka Law Society. To introduce the president of today's function, Sri Anand N. Mandgi, Senior Advocate and
Good
President,
evening,
Karnataka Law Society.
dignitaries on and off the days. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce the president of today's function, Sri Anand N. Mandgi, Senior Advocate and President, Karnataka Law Society, Belgavi. Sri Anant Narayan Mandgi was born on 11th May 1959 in a family of advocates. His grandfather, C.A.A. Mandgi, was a practicing advocate at the Belgavi and Bombay Bar Association. His father, Sri Narayan Mandgi, was a High Court advocate, practicing at the Honorable High Court of Karnataka. He was also a member of Karnataka Law Society. Sri Anant Mandgi completed his BCom from MES College, Bangalore, and LLB from SJR College of Law, Bangalore. He was enrolled as an advocate on 21st March 1984. He specializes in civil matters relating to property, land acquisition, land revenue, house rent cases, etc., and has handled matters right from the municipal court to the Supreme Court. He has handled matters including writ petition and writ appeals in the category of general miscellaneous, legal bodies, land reforms, etc. He is a designated senior advocate practicing at the Honorable High Court of Karnataka and Supreme Court of India. He joined Karnataka Law Society on 18th March 2000 and is presently the president of the society. It's our privilege to have you, sir, as the president of today's function. I request Sri M.R. Kulkarni, sir, chairman of the Governing Council, RL Law College, to honor the president, Sri Anand N. Mandgi, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Malvika.
Now I call upon Ms. Mrinal Kamath to introduce our guest of honor, Shri C.M. Joshi, Principal District and Sessions Judge, Belgavi. To introduce our guest of honor, Shri C.M. Joshi, Principal District and Sessions Judge, Belgavi. To introduce our guest of honor, Shri C.M. Joshi.
A very good evening to one and all present here. I am profusely overjoyed to take the opportunity to introduce the guest of honor of today's function, Honorable Shri Chandrasekhar N. Joshi, Principal District and Sessions Judge, Belgavi. Shri C.M. Joshi was born in 1964. He completed his graduation in science in 1984. He joined JSS Sakri Law College and graduated in law in 1987. Sir has also completed his LLM from Coimbatore University in 2012. Sir was enrolled as an advocate in 1990 and participated for 6 years in Hooghly. He then joined the judiciary as civil judge in 1995. Since then, he has served the judiciary in various capacities such as civil judge, additional small cause judge, registrar in High Court of Karnataka, special court judge on atrocities against women. He has served at places like Bangalore, Mangalore, Belgavi, and Udupi districts. He has also worked as a member of State Wide Area Network Monitoring Committee and Judicial Process Re-Engineering Committee, High Court of Karnataka. He was a consultant for various arbiters in arbitral proceedings and technical matters. Sir has also been a resource person on cyber law and cyber crimes in several workshops. At present, Sir is the Principal District and Sessions Judge, Belgavi. It is our privilege to have you, Sir, amongst us as a guest of honor of today's function. Now, I would request Dr. A.H. Havaldar, Sir, Principal of our Law College, to honor the guest of honor, Sri Chandrasekhar M. Joshi, Sir. Principal of our Law College, to honor the guest of honor, Sri Chandrasekhar M. Joshi, Sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Mrinal.
Thank you, sir.
I call upon Ms. Manaswini Datar to introduce our guest of honor, Shri P.S. Saukar, Advocate, Chairman, Board of Management, Karnataka Law Society. To introduce our guest of honor, Shri P.S. Saukar, Advocate, Chairman, Board of Management, Karnataka Law Society. To introduce our guest of honor, Shri P.S. Saukar, Advocate,
A very good evening to one and all present over here, dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I, Manaswini Datar, feel esteemed to introduce our today's guest of honor, Shri Pradeep S. Savkar, Advocate and Chairman Board of Management, Karnataka Law Society, Belagavi. Shri Pradeep S. Savkar, son of Shri S. B. Savkar, was born on 30th January 1957. After completing BSc in St. Joseph's College, Bengaluru, he acquired LLB degree from University Law College, Bengaluru in the year 1980. In November 1980, he joined the chambers of senior advocate and former Advocate General Sri S.T. Sundaraswamy Ramdas and Anand Advocates, one of the oldest law firms in the state of Karnataka, having been established in the year 1926. Currently, he is a partner of the said law firm, now known as Messrs. Sundaraswamy and Ramdas. He has lucrative practice appearing in civil, labor and services, arbitration, and other matters in the High Court of Karnataka and Supreme Court of India. The law firm has produced several stalwarts in legal and political field. Some of them are Sri S. N. Krishna, former Chief Minister of Karnataka, Union Minister and Governor. Justice R. V. Ravindran, retired Judge, Supreme Court of India. Sri A. N. Jayaram, former Advocate General. Justice S. N. Satyanarayan, retired Judge of High Court of Karnataka, and many more. The law firm advises several public sector undertakings, banks, including RBI and Indian Bank Association, corporates like HAL, BEL, BEML, Bata India, Hindalco Industries Limited Belagavi, and educational institutions like Indian Institute of Science, Indian Institute of Management Bengaluru, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, ISRO, MS Ramaya Group of Educational Institute, Mysore Education Society Bengaluru, etc. He joined Karnataka Law Society on 18th March 2000 and presently he is the chairman Board of Management KLS Belagavi. Sir, we all are very fortunate to be in your presence today. Now I request Professor Ashwini Parab, Moot Court Coordinator, to honor today's guest of honor, Shri P.S. Sarkar sir. Now I request Professor Ashwini Parab, Moot Court Coordinator, to honor today's guest of honor, Shri P.S. Sarkar sir. Now I request Professor Ashwini Parab, Moot Court Coordinator, to honor today's guest of honor, Shri P.S. Sarkar sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Manaswini.
Thank you, madam.
I may now request Professor G.M. Wagh to honor Shri M.R. Kulkarni,
Thank you, Manaswini.
Advocate, Chairman, Governing Council, Raja Lakhamgoda Law College. G.M. Wagh to honor Shri M.R. Kulkarni,
Thank you, Manaswini.
Advocate, Chairman, Governing Council, Raja Lakhamgoda Law College. G.M. Wagh to honor Shri M.R. Kulkarni, Advocate, Chairman, Governing Council, Raja Lakhamgoda Law College.
Thank you, sir. I request Professor Dr. Samina Beg, Professor Yajurvedi, Professor Chetan Kumar, Professor Satish Anikindi, sir, to honor the members of Karnataka Law Society, the invitees, and the heads of institutions. Professor Satish Anikindi, sir, to honor the members of Karnataka Law Society, the invitees, and the heads of institutions. Professor Satish Anikindi, sir, to honor the members of Karnataka Law Society, the invitees, and the heads of institutions.
Thank you, sirs and madam. Moot courts are very important for the students of law. It marks the outcome of the whole year and how students are being developed all round. May I now request Professor Ashwini Parab, Moot Court Coordinator, to give introduction about the Moot Court competition and participants. Ashwini Parab, Moot Court Coordinator, to give introduction about the Moot Court competition and participants. Ashwini Parab, Moot Court Coordinator, to give introduction about the Moot Court competition and
A very good evening to everyone. It is a matter of pride to get this opportunity to introduce you MK Nambyar Memorial National Level Moot Court Competition. But my introduction would be incomplete without speaking about the duo, extraordinary duo of father and son, who are responsible for their contribution to the Indian constitutional jurisprudence. That is MK Nambyar, Shri MK Nambyar, and Padma Vibhushan Shri KK Venugopal, the present Attorney General for India. Shri MK Nambyar, an constitutional expert, a visionary, a person who laid the foundation for the basic structure theory, which all of us must have studied under the Indian Constitution. He had laid the foundation of this theory. To share a small incident about Sri M.K. Nambyar, once he was called to argue a case before the Privy Council. This was way before the Indian independence. After he finished his argument on the case, he was just having a stroll in the streets of England. He came across an advertisement which read, Course on Constitutional Law. And he decided to join this course on constitutional law in England. That is when he gave a call back to his family, said that though I had come for a very short stay to just argue for a case before the Privy Council, but I'm going to stay for a longer time in England because I have to complete this course on constitutional law. And that shows his dedication. He was at right time, at right place. And after independence, when the time came to frame the Indian Constitution, he was a pioneer in the framing of the Indian Constitution. Lady Luck was smiling on him because he was the person who had studied the jurisprudential concept of Indian Constitution. So I can say that he nurtured the Indian Constitution in its infancy. And like father, like son, now Padma Vibhushan Shri KK Venugopal is nurturing the Indian Constitution and is responsible for the growth of Indian Constitution in several ways. A visionary just like his father, a fearless person, shrewd person, ready to express his opinion, may it be on the basic structure of the Indian Constitution, may it be on the constitutional morality. He has always expressed his opinion. So, therefore, it is our privilege that these two extraordinary personalities who have immensely contributed to the Indian Constitution, the jurisprudence of the Indian Constitution, are associated with our M.K. Nambyar Memorial Moot Court Competition. Shri Padma Vibhushan Shri K.K. Venugopal, in fond memory of his father, had created this endowment of a generous sum. Out of the interest amount that accrues on this sum, we have been organizing this moot court competition every year. This year, we are organizing the 12th MK Nambyar Memorial National Level Moot Court Competition. The first 10 moot court competitions were in physical mode, and the last moot court competition, that was the 11th MK Nambyar Memorial Moot Court Competition, was in a virtual mode last year. But nonetheless, it was a different experience and a wonderful experience too. And this year we are back with 12th MK Nambyar, which is a physical event, which is not a virtual event. Large number of prizes, both in trophies as well as cash prize, are given to the winners of this competition. The winners are awarded 30,000 rupees cash prize. The runners up gets 20,000 rupees cash prize. Best memorials 10,000. Best speaker male 10,000. Best speaker female 10,000. And in addition to this, since last year, we have an additional prize, that is Sri Ashok M. Poddar Best Mooter Prize, which this year is going to be rupees 6,000. Now I request the teams to kindly raise, wherever they are sitting, so that we can have a formal introduction of all the teams. National Law Institute, University, Bhopal. Kindly rise. National Law Institute, University, Bhopal. School of Law, Shastra, Deemed University, Tamil Nadu. Symbiosis Law School, Nagpur. VVMS Govind Ramnath Khare College of Law, Goa. Gujarat National University, Gujarat. College of Law, Goa. Bangalore Institute of Legal Studies, Bangalore. University, Gujarat. School of Law, Christ University, Bangalore. Legal Studies, Bangalore. School of Excellence in Law, Dr. Ambedkar University, Chennai. Symbiosis Law School, Hyderabad. Dr. Ambedkar University, Chennai. B.V. Bellad Law College, Belgavi. Symbiosis Law School, Hyderabad. School of Law, Navi Mumbai, NIMS. Bellad Law College, Belgavi. V.M. Sargavkar College of Law, Panji, Goa. Symbiosis Law School, Noida. V.M. Sargavkar College of Law, Sinhagad Law College, Pune. SDN Law College, Mangalore. Central University of South Bihar. Seth Shankar Lal Lahoti Law College, Kalburgi. C. Bhimsen Rao National College of Law, Shimoga. RV Institute of Legal Studies, Bangalore. Satyabhama Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. I wish all the participants a very all the best. May the best team win, participate in the right spirit of the competition. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much. May the best team win, participate
Thank
in
you,
the right
Nam.
spirit of the competition. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
Light is a symbol of truth and knowledge. So, I now request our chief guests and other dignitaries to inaugurate the 12th M.K. Nambyar Memorial National Level Hoot Court Competition by lighting the lamp. To inaugurate the 12th M.K. Nambyar Memorial National Level Hoot Court Competition by lighting the lamp. Anyone participant? Please come on stage.
Every experience in our life is being orchestrated to teach us something that we need to know to move forward. Now I request the chief guest of today's function, Honorable Mr. Justice S. Sunil Dutt Yadav, Judge, High Court Karnataka, to address the august gathering. Honorable Mr. Justice S. Sunil Dutt Yadav, Judge, High Court Court Karnataka to address the August gathering. Honorable Mr. Justice S. Sunil Dutt Yadav, Judge, High Court Karnataka to address the August gathering.
A very good evening to all the dignitaries, participants, the members of the management of the institution, and all my young friends. I, before I start, I would like to extend my gratitude for giving me an opportunity to be amongst young students, which gives a sense of purpose for what we are doing. Respected Sri A.N. Mandigi, Senior Advocate, President of the Karnataka Law Society, Sri C.M. Joshi, Principal District Judge, Sri P.S. Savkar, Advocate and Chairman, Board of Management, Karnataka Law Society, Sri Pramod Katavi, Senior Counsel, other dignitaries, including the Principal of the Law College, the Moot Court Coordinator, Chairman of the RL Law College, all staff of the college, and my young friends and students of the institution. It's indeed a pleasant opportunity that we are in physical mode and in these distress times, I should say, of the hangover of the COVID pandemic. Hopefully, it shall end soon. I would like to express my pleasure and honor to be invited as a chief guest to the inaugural function of the M.K. Nambyar Memorial National Level Moot Court Competition. It is an honor to be at the Raja Lakaman Law College, whose alumni are many of the innumerable distinguished persons in India, including Sri K.K. Venugopal, the current Attorney General of India, and a renowned constitutional law expert. It is rather befitting that he is the patron of this prestigious moot court competition, named after Sri M.K. Nambyar, a pioneer in the legal field and one of the best legal minds of the country. Sri M.K. Nambyar was a barrister and an illustrious lawyer, possessing marvelous oratory skills and astounding legal knowledge. He was a proponent of the fundamental rights of individuals and argued with full passion, leaving no stone unturned while defending fundamental rights. Sri Nambyar propounded and laid the foundation of the basic structure doctrine in Golaknath's case, arguing that fundamental rights are supreme, which was secured by the enactment of the Constitution of India, and hence the Parliament has no power to amend the fundamental rights. His idea of basic structure finally materialized to the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court in the Keshwananda Bharati judgment. The moot court competition, named after him, is indeed a fitting tribute to the legal pioneer of our country. This moot court competition provides an opportunity to all young law students to experience the art of advocacy and research. It provides a vivid learning experience, not just in terms of knowledge, but also serves as an eye opener to the field of practice of law. The knowledge of law is only a part of legal practice, which, besides legal knowledge and research, depends on preparation, presentation, poise, behavioral manner, oratory skills, and temperament. Moot courts provide you this opportunity at an early age so as to expose and give you a glimpse of legal practice. The learning you take from the moot courts is invaluable. It helps you develop drafting skills through the making of memorials, improves your research skills on particular issues, and challenges you to make and prepare arguments on different propositions of law. The oral rounds help in developing your oratory and presentation skills on how you make your submissions and argue your case in a succinct and concise manner. It also challenges your thinking skills and legal knowledge when questioned by the judges. Most importantly, it tests your poise, composure, and manner of answering and making submissions, allowing you to improve your skills and succeed. It is indeed an amazing learning experience, and I urge all the students to give their best and argue passionately. Even if you don't win, you learn valuable skills which would benefit you in the long run. One of the most influential political philosophers in America, John Stuart Mill, had written a book titled On Liberty. He made this powerful argument for individual liberty, which influenced and shaped the socio political scenario in the 19th and 20th century. A defender of liberty, Stuart Mill opposed the forces and norms that suppress the liberty of the individual. His primary objective was arguing and opposing the private forces of coercion which threatened the liberty of individuals at that time. This concept of liberty is still relevant and has influenced the drafting of the Indian Constitution, which upholds the liberty through the Golden Triangle, namely Articles 14, 19, and 21 of the Constitution of India. The issue of constitutionality of medical termination of pregnancy or abortion, as it is known in some countries, as presented in the Moot problem, is and has seen a hotly contested debate not only in India but in other countries also. Various scholars, lawyers, and the public at large have been proponents and opponents of this. It's an important topic which bases itself on the issue of liberty. The organizers have indeed made a beautiful problem to argue both for and against, and is thereby a suitable tribute to Sri M.K. Nambyar, the constitution eagle of our country. We must all learn from the experiences of Sri M.K. Nambyar, who at the beginning of his legal practice at the Supreme Court argued the A.K. Gopalan's case, the first constitutional case of independent India. One of the primary arguments he made was procedure established by law under Article 21 must necessarily include procedural due process and principles of natural justice much before it was propounded by the Supreme Court eventually in Maneka Gandhi's case. In fact, though the interpretation of his was not accepted earlier in E.K. Gopalan's case, the expanded meaning to procedure established by law in Maneka Gandhi was a reflection of his arguments, which eventually came to be affirmed. Sri Nambiar's far-sightedness and legal acumen on fundamental rights is something we must learn and try to incorporate in our understanding of the law. The basic structure doctrine is one of the fundamental and most distinctive aspect of constitutionalism of India, and as students of law, it's a duty to uphold and protect this basic structure. As students of law, our allegiance must only be to the Constitution of India. It is a duty we owe to the people of India and to our forefathers' vision, led by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. One of the most appropriate tributes to Sri M.K. Nambiar was given by late Sri V.R. Krishna Iyer, former judge of the Supreme Court of India, who said that there was a commitment about him in the garb of fundamental rights. He fought the case, that is A.K. Gopalan, not for the ideology of his client who was a communist, but for the ideology of human rights, which finds expression in Part 3. Without further ado, I would congratulate you all on participating in this esteemed M.K. Nambyar Moot Court competition and wish all the participants the best of luck. May you all do well and succeed. I end my speech here by quoting Nani Palkiwala, a doyen of law, from his book, We the People. A lawyer, by his training and equipment and by his professional competence, is better qualified than the rest of the citizenry to take an active part in the making of laws and formulation of public policy. He would be failing his country if he did not do his duty. That apart, after having ended my written speech, I am very impressed by the participation and by the presence of young minds. The request I make is that we are bombarded so much by information. We have access to information, but we need to develop the skill of listening, analyzing, and reflecting. I find that minds are sharp nowadays of youngsters and are very impressed on their quick uptake. But what I would also request is that there needs to be a reflection, an analysis, and a digestion of knowledge that we receive from all sides. It is necessary that we need to build up a temperament wherein society is based not merely on merit, but on merit with compassion. And what is merit is a big question mark, as the evaluation standards that we have set are themselves open to being questioned. The question is, we have seen people with abundance of common sense without exposure to the formal systems of learning. And when you do find that as a gut instinct, a person, a commoner, uses common sense to answer what otherwise we feel and we dissect as very complex problems, is a reflection that the more you know through formal systems of education is not necessarily a reflection of the ability to think, analyze, and then identify the issue. It is necessary that in life, as also in courts, that you need to ask the right question and get the right answer. Asking the wrong question and getting the right answer is a wrong answer to the wrong question. And the ability of us to identify the issue and the controversy would make a difference between you and the rest. I only hope that you young minds always think not on the law of precedence, but on first principles. Often we as judges are flooded by precedents and get lost in trying to decide a case by trying to distinguish one precedent from the other, which perhaps sometimes constricts the first principles. So my request, even in your moods or as lawyers, is to first understand the first principles. If you understand the first principles, the rest follows. Precedents are never an answer to the very unique factual matrix that presents before you. And hence, when you start an argument, first understand the problem, identify the issue, and then use first principles and your common sense, and then fall back on precedents only to support it. This attitude of inquiry, of thinking on first principles, would make you a different disciple of law. The other most important part of it is not what you learn or a degree that matters. It's not that you come out of a prestigious law college that necessarily matters. It is your attitude in life which is the most prized possession. Person's value not for the degree or your formal qualification, but for your compassion, for your qualities, for your humility. And that humility keeps our mind open for acquisition of knowledge. We need to understand that the most prized possession that we as students of law could imbibe is the art of listening. It is not a quality that needs to be taught, that will ever be taught in any of your law curriculum. And I feel that most qualities that would make a person successful is not that which we are imbibed through the formal system of education. It is by looking around us, by looking at our elders, our counterparts, and absorbing all the best qualities that we find around. Finally, the destination of every human being is to be a good human being and not necessarily the best professional. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your speech was indeed inspiring.
I request our guest of honor, Shri P.S. Saukar, Advocate, Chairman, Board of Management, Karnataka Law Society, to address the gathering. Shri P.S. Saukar, Advocate, Chairman, Board of Management, Karnataka Law Society, to address the gathering. Shri P.S. Saukar, Advocate,
Good
Chairman,
evening,
Board
everyone.
of Management, Karnataka Law Society,
Honorable
to
Justice
address the gathering.
Sunil Dutt Yadav, Chief Guest of today's function. Good evening, everyone. Shri Anand Pandvi, Senior Advocate, Chief Guest of President of Karnataka Law Society, who's presiding over today's function. Anand Pandvi, Senior Advocate, Shri C.M. Joshi, Principal District and Sessions Judge, Belgavi. Shri C.M. Joshi, Shri M.R. Kulkarni, Chairman, Governing Council, RL Law College. Dr. H. Havalda, Principal, RL Law College. Srimati Ashwini Parab, Moot Court Coordinator. My colleagues, members of Karnataka Law Society, Moot Court Coordinator, faculty of RL Law College, students and participants of this competition. We have just now heard a brilliant speech from one of the finest judges of our High Court, Justice Sunil Dutt Yadav. I don't think anything else is required to be said about mooting and the benefits of mooting and the manner in which students should not only indulge in their studies but participate in mooting, which would help them in their career. I would only say that in Raja Lakhamgada Law College, which was started way back in 1939, we have tried our best to provide the best infrastructure. And right from the time when we started mooting, this is the 12th one as has been pointed out. We have been getting teams from all over the country. I mean, today we have 20 teams participating in the competition. I wish all of you the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now I request Shri Anant N. Mangi, Senior Advocate and President, Karnataka Law Society, to deliver the presidential remarks. Senior Advocate and President, Karnataka Law Society, to deliver the presidential remarks.
Honorable Justice Sunil Dutt Yadav, P.S. Saukar, Honorable Mr. Havaldar, M.R. Kulkarni, the coordinator of the Moot Court, P.S. Saukar, Mr. Justice C.M. Joshi, Principal District Judge, coordinator, my fellow co-members sitting over here, the staff, the lecturers, I'm very grateful that most of the staff and the lecturers and the coordinators have, and so many of the students have put in so much of effort to ensure that this moot court competition will be a great success. First and foremost, about our chief guest, Justice S. Sunil Dutt Yadav. Let me tell you, dear friends, becoming a judge of the Honorable High Court at the age of 45 is not very often. Let me tell you, dear friends, becoming a judge of the Honorable High Court at the age of 45, you have to have something in you to be chosen to become a judge at that young age, compared to thousands and thousands of advocates practicing, especially in a place like Bangalore. You must have some mettle. There are very few judges like Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, who was at the Supreme Court, who was also there, who also became a judge at a very young age. As far as Justice Sunil Dutt Yadav is concerned, let me tell you one thing. I have appeared before a number of judges in a span of 40 years as a practicing advocate, nearly 40 years. I have practiced for 37 years now. God alone knows how many cases I have argued and before how many judges I have appeared. It's very difficult to remember. But there are a few judges who have asked me certain relevant questions when I have been arguing before them, which has got deeply imprinted. And I developed immense respect towards those judges who knew what to ask and keep quiet, especially when they're on a bench. It's very funny sometimes. The judge knows you should not be asking that question, but the member sitting next to you, another judge, will be asking you exactly the question which should not be. And they are put in a predicament many times. I'm very sure you asking you exactly the question I've experienced it. Once I was arguing a first appeal before Justice Sunil Bhatia on a matter regarding specific relief act. Of course, he may not remember it. I was arguing under the specific relief act, and he asked me a question. Oh, you mean to say it is feeding the grant by Estapel? I was taken aback because not many people are aware that the principle of feeding the grant by Estapel is not only available under Section 43 of the Transfer of Property Act, but it's also available under Section 13 of the Specific Relief Act. Such a question asked by an honorable judge made me think that this judge has got some mettle. And then no wonder he was appointed as a judge at such a young age. And he has got pinnacles to achieve. One of the greatest qualities of Justice Sunil Yadav, in my opinion, as a senior counsel appearing day in and day out, is patience. Patience really pays. He keeps calm, quiet, and what a pleasure it is to argue before him. You can express and bring out whatever you want without being interrupted. Look at the judgment. Ultimately, he delivers his judgment in whatever best way he thinks. But when we are at it, when we are arguing, there is absolutely no interference. Sir, I congratulate you for that quality of yours, and I'm very sure, sir, that you'll be reaching the highest pinnacle of our institution. Another thing which I am deeply obliged, my dear friends, along with all of you, is today's Friday. Justice Sunil Dutt Yadav is not from Belgaum or from Dharwad. He's from Belgaum. He's from Bangalore. His family lives in Bangalore. He has given his family time, as we call it in the modern language. I never knew what family time was. But now it is this time, mother time, father time. Okay, it's family time. He has given his family time to be with all of you. I think he needs a big hand for that. He has taken a lot of trouble and coming here and gracing this occasion. That is as far as he is concerned, and also Justice CM Joshi, who is a fine judge on his own metal, because I have appeared and argued before him, and he has got certain qualities of his own, which are very unique, and he has got a wonderful smile. Whether you're right or wrong, I think he'll be smiling most of the time. And that smile can say 100 words, which words can't say to most of us. Now coming to you, my dear friends, on behalf of the management of Karnataka Law Society, I thank each one of you participants for having come to our meeting and making it a success. Thank you very much. You people have come at a time of pandemic, and your, though coronavirus is such a thing where it's sort of a threat, I also thank your parents in encouraging you to come to this competition and making it a success. That shows the kind of interest each one of you has. As a lawyer, what I have thought, I have done, and how I practice, though it may not be of great importance, is, you know, what is the difference between a winner and a loser? The difference between a winner and a loser is focus. If you know how to focus on a problem, like a moot court problem, on your own, sit quiet, think, like his Lordship Justice Sunil Dutt Yadav said, think, analyze, try to analyze on your own. And once you come to the conclusion, once you get the solution to the problem, you'll be so confident, so bold when you're standing there and mooting, you can, that exuberance will be flowing out of you. And that's what you'll be doing when you have become a lawyer. A very, 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 very confident lawyer. But unfortunately, one thing, sir, I address this especially to the two judges sitting here. Sir, it's very sad that humor is missing in courts. There used to be a book when I was in school known as Humor in Uniform. So many jokes in court, so many anecdotes in courts. These days, I find it very difficult to crack a joke because I'm worried whether I'll be contempt will be issued against me. These days, I'm- for instance, I was arguing before a bench. Then the bench asked me, Mr. Mandgi, don't you think what we are saying is right? Thought about it for a minute. Then I told them, sir, if I agree with what you are saying, then both of us will be wrong. Like there are so many humorous occasions, and in Belgaum court, a district judge was there and a lawyer was arguing. And I don't think most of you have seen the Belgaum district judge on this. CM Joshi will be known. One day when a lawyer was arguing, a monkey entered the court. So the judge told the lawyer, Mr. So and so, see, a monkey has come to listen to your argument. You know what he replied? What can I do, sir? He's the only one who can understand my arguments. What can I do, sir? He's the only one who can understand my argument. Another small joke between a lawyer and a judge. See, this is how we should react. We can't be serious like statues sit even in court. In Mangalore court, I'm told when the lawyer was arguing, a donkey was braying. So the lawyer complained to the judge, sir, I can't argue. Why? The donkey is braying. Then the district judge sent the bailiff, go chase the donkey out. The donkey was chased out. Then he said, all right, Mr. He has stopped now, you start. Means, another last one I will just narrate, which happened. A tall, hefty, well-built lawyer like me was arguing. And my opponent was a very puny. Then I told him, Mister, what is that we are arguing? If I want to, I can put you in my pocket. So he says, if you do that, you'll have more law in your pocket than in your brains. See, these are all kinds of humor, which is, isn't it fantastic that between a lawyer and a judge or a court, between colleagues, we can have so much of humor in court. You don't have to take everything very seriously and fight as if you're fighting a battle with a sword. I want to kill you. I want to. You can do it with a very nice way. And all that you require to do, as I said, the difference between a winner and a loser is the focus. So, only one thing I would advise you, because I'm telling you, I'm a lawyer. My wife is a lawyer. My sons are lawyers. My daughter in laws are lawyers. Six of us in the house. A common question that is asked, my God, all of you are lawyers. Yes. All the time while having dinner, you must be arguing, isn't it? I say, no, we never utter a word. Why? Until you pay money, we never open our mouth. We never open our mouth until we pay money. See, so what I am only suggesting to you, don't bother about what money one has made, which vehicle one comes to court in, what is where he stays, what are the kind of clothes he wears. Don't bother. You people, be content, be happy, and put in all your effort. And God has given the same brain to all of us. My brain is not bigger than your brain. If it is there, then there'll be something else. I'm not a human being. All of us. So what I would suggest and advise, think in a proper manner, develop develop your own system as a lawyer to analyze. If you have a problem, no moot court problem, go to the heart of the problem. Then put your hands, legs, heads, everything you can have. But what is the heart? That is the way how you can really think and be good lawyers, be very good opponents. And when you argue a case and come out, the honorable judge who has heard you when he's sleeping in the night, your argument should be vibrating in his ears. That means you must have stuff. Don't argue like day in and day out arguments. Come up with something to make him think. So, my advice to all of you when you address a moot court competition or you're a debater, the best lawyers and the greatest leaders of the world were all good debaters or good mooters, I can say, for because you're law students, but otherwise, very, very, very good debaters. Right from Hitler was criticized. Why did so many people follow him? Because he knew how to talk. He was a good debater. He could convince people. So, I will end my talk by advising you people all the best. Be calm, be quiet, enjoy not the success, enjoy the path to the success. You may win in the mood, you may lose in the mood, doesn't matter, don't bother. But enjoy the way how you have done your research, how you're going to argue, enjoy that. have pleasure in it, and you have enjoyed the moot. Forget whether you win or lose. Everyone can't be a winner. There has to be a loser. But you're not a loser. You're a participant who has done your best. Come out of the court like how I'm going out. I'm going out with a nice, happy mind to see all you youngsters who have come here to make our moot a success. And I am very grateful to all of you and your parents. Thank you very much. If you have any problems, please be in touch with us. We are trying to do our best for you, including our accommodation, which has been provided, and the transport, and we're trying to give whatever best we can. But if we are lacking somewhere, please don't feel bad. My apologies. Please approach the organizers, and we'll try to help you. Thank you, and please come again to our. Please don't feel bad. My apologies. Please approach the
Thank you,
organizers,
sir.
and we'll try to help you. Thank you, and please come again.
Finally, I call upon Mr. Syed Bilal Qazi to deliver the vote of
Thank you,
thanks.
sir.
Finally, I call upon Mr. Syed Bilal Qazi to deliver the vote
A
of
very good
thanks.
evening to one and all present here. It's indeed an honor and privilege for me to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of management, staff, and students of Raja Lakhamgowda Law College, Belgavi. Where there are efforts, there should be appreciation. Where there are good people around to help to guide you, you should be grateful. And so, when there are both the things present, then there should be two words of thank you. With immense gratitude, I would like to thank our esteemed chief guest of today's function, Honorable Mr. Justice S. Sunil Dutt Yadav, Judge, High Court of Karnataka, for inaugurating this competition and delivering the inaugural address. Thank you, sir. I thank our guest of honor of today's function, Sri C.M. Joshi, Principal District and Sessions Judge, Belgavi, for gracing this occasion with his valuable presence. Thank you, sir. I also thank our guest of honor of today's function, Sri P.S. Saukar, Advocate, Chairman, Board of Management, Karnataka Law Society, Belgavi, for addressing the gathering. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to thank our president of today's function, Sri Anant N. Mandgi, Senior Advocate and President, Karnataka Law Society, Belgavi, for delivering presidential remarks. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Sri M.R. Kulkarni, Advocate, Chairman, Governing Council, RL Law College, Belgavi, for his valuable support and encouragement in organizing this competition. Thank you, sir. I also thank the members of Karnataka Law Society and Governing Council, RL Law College, for their presence and valuable support. Now, I thank the respected principal of RL Law College, Dr. A.H. Havaldar, for his valuable guidance. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to thank our Moot Court coordinator, Professor Ashwini Parab, for coordinating this event. Thank you, ma'am. I would also like to thank all the invitees and heads of institutions for their kind presence. I thank press and media for their wide coverage. I also thank the participants for their participation and also their institutions. And last but not the least, I thank the teaching and non-teaching staff, energetic volunteers, and the students of RL Law College for their assistance in organizing this function. Thank you each and everyone who made this event a grand one and took the visions of RL Law College Belgavi to a great height. Thank you one and all.
I request you all to kindly rise for national anthem. I request you all to kindly rise for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता